Hey, everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. Coming up, Alex Smith on his third NFL team, the Washington Redskins, take on Super Bowl MVP Nick Foles and the Philadelphia Eagles. With that, let's get up to the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. We're standing by for the call are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. The scene in South Philly a few moments ago. Boy, the city of brotherly love is fired up. They're saying fly, Eagles, fly, as they get ready to match up with the Washington Redskins. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis, happy to be with you. And, Charles, we've got two teams who know each other extremely well. These division games, they tend to be battles.
People scout like crazy in this league, but no one scouts more than within the division. Because if you win your division, you're automatically in the playoffs. That puts extra emphasis on these games, and they can't wait to get at each other.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. So out comes the Redskins offense now onto the field. It'll be the #1 pick from back in 2005, leading him onto the field. Their 14-year veteran out of Utah, it's Alex Smith.
And despite another terrific season from Alex Smith in Kansas City, Kansas City knew from the moment Patrick Mahomes was drafted, this day was going to come sooner rather than later. Now he goes to Washington and replaces Kirk Cousins. Two different quarterbacks. Kirk Cousins a little more of the freewheeling sort. Alex Smith more deliberate, more controlled, but can still throw that dagger pass downfield.
Smith and the Redskins will come up now 1st and 10. A first carry now for Adrian Peterson. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Peterson, Charles, at age 33, I think when he signed with the Redskins, people were wondering what would this season be like. Well, it started off pretty good.
Yeah, and you remember the reason why they're asking that question. Age 33. Last season didn't end very well in Arizona. Had some good games, but was hurt down the stretch. Didn't have those games again. But now, 96 yards in the season opener for Washington at Arizona. Comes back for 20 against Indianapolis, and then 120, a big performance against Green Bay. At his best, you're getting the Adrian Peterson that defenses fear. So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. And the tackle there by Chris Long. And a quick look at Washington's offense.
Jordan Reed's coming off of an injury-plagued season that set him back and held him to just 6 games. And Washington's definitely hoping he can get back to his 2016 Pro Bowl form. That made him one of the most dangerous tight ends in the game. And in fact, when he runs routes, it's often equated to a basketball player with a great crossover move. A lot of guys just can't stick with him.
They'll try the air now with Smith. It's brought in by Jamison Crowder. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 right at the 40. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a pretty good run there as he gets 7 down to the 33.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
Play action. It's Smith. Boy, stays out. He will find Davis on the left side complete. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. So not much to speak of scoring-wise in this first quarter of play. 0-0 our score. And we're back to Philadelphia after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Back live, Charles Davis to my right. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Redskin football to begin quarter number 2. And they're driving, but they come up on a 3rd and short here. Out of the gun, Smith. And that is incomplete.
Certainly looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
So now on 4th down, the Redskins will hand things over to their kicker, Dustin Hopkins. On the left hash, officially, it's called a 51-yard attempt. And that is no good. He gave it a good run. That wasn't more than a foot or so wide to the left. And this will remain a scoreless game. Well, that opening drive looked good for a moment there, but they'll wind up being turned away thanks to the missed field goal.
And those especially hurt when you come into a game on the road. You're trying to get things to go your way early, and now you suffer a setback right out of the gate.
The defending champion Eagles coming back out onto the field here, and they are back to 3-3 with a Thursday night road win, 34-13 in MetLife Stadium against the Giants. Now 8 straight primetime wins against the Giants. That's hard to believe.
In their long rivalry, which began in 1933, the Giants have controlled that rivalry for most of it. But with that win last Thursday night, the Eagles are now within 1 victory of tying it up all time. The Giants lead 86-85, 2 ties, and that does not count the war years where the Eagles combined with the Pittsburgh Steelers and were known as the Steagles.
Wow. One more useless fact, 1933, price of a loaf of bread, 7 cents.
There you go.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Now it's the all-purpose back. This is Darren Sproles. And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that. And with a 3rd and 13 here, the defense in a dime look. 2 minutes remain in a scoreless first half. We'll come back to Philadelphia after this. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll check in with our Jonathan Coachman. He'll have highlights and analysis of the first half, and our highlights will likely be on the defensive side of the football here. Scoreless game. On 3rd and long, it's Wentz. Looking for Aguilar, It's intercepted. Picked up by the all-pro corner, Josh Norman. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line.
Well, you could just see this one coming, couldn't you? It's an obvious passing situation, 3rd and long. The defense is just going to bring in 2 more defensive backs and say, you want to throw? Go ahead. We dare you. And there's just no one open anywhere as they come away with the interception.
Washington Redskins right now sitting at 3-2. Interesting last couple of weeks. You look back to Week 5, Monday night game on the road. They got annihilated by Drew Brees and the Saints. Came back 6 days later with a statement win that you saw in person against Carolina.
And it really shouldn't be a surprise to anyone. When you see an NFL team take a beating like they took in New Orleans, if they are halfway decent, expect their pride to come out in the next game. And that's exactly what we saw against Carolina. Started fast, got out to a 14-0 lead, strong throughout. Defense reacted a whole lot better than they did on Monday night. Josh Norman, their star cornerback, caught a lot of grief about what happened, got briefly benched against New Orleans. He had one of his better games on Sunday against Carolina. Had an interception and a forced fumble.
And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 7 yards the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. To throw on 2nd down is Smith. Crowder's got it over the middle. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It'll be a Redskin first down as Smith hits Crowder.
One of the feature points of the in route is being able to make a nice throw to the middle part of the field. And for a quarterback, that's one of the better throws and better looks that he'll get. But he has to be careful not to wait too long and let his receiver wander into some tough territory. If he's late with the ball, he can get his receiver hit and hit hard.
Redskins with their first trip to the red zone thus far. 1st and 10 at the 19. Now a first down throw. It's Smith. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Nigel Bradham, the linebacker, right there on the coverage.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Here's Smith, throwing again. Completes it right side to Dodson. And prior to this 3rd and 2 play, we're going to get a timeout call as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. And we are back here. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. So the offense takes the timeout, and now we're set to get going. They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on 3rd down. 3rd and 2, Smith. This will be caught at about the 6. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over. We'll see what they come up with here on this next play. Again, Smith. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's second and goal now. Smith throwing again. And it's caught. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Vernon Davis from 6 yards away. And the Redskins are able to strike for 6.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. Dustin Hopkins on now to add the extra point. Extra point good by Hopkins. And it's now a 7-0 game. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it was polished off by a Redskin touchdown. Here's Hopkins now out to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Just over 30 seconds to go in the half. They've got it 1st and 10. They'll begin the drive with Sproles. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. They'll run it with Sproles. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. So we have come upon halftime, and it's the visiting Redskins who have the lead here. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome in everyone to an abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one's been a hard-fought battle to this point. 7-0 is the score, with neither offense really able to get on track. But let's not waste any time. We'll get you right back out to Brandon and Charles for the second half.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Fielded about a yard deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
Can't have enough good pass-catching tight ends in the NFL. And the Eagles, they wanted to replenish their stock. They lost Trey Burton in the offseason, so they selected Dallas Goedert out of South Dakota State in the second round, and he is nothing but a big-time pass catcher.
What a great story, because South Dakota State didn't offer him a scholarship out of high school. He walked on there.
Yeah, so now Zach Ertz has a running mate at tight end.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's Sproles. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. And once again, they go with Sproles. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be a 3rd and about 13.
Brandon, we're into the second half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
Two running plays go backwards, so what's the call on 3rd and 13 now?
Here we go. 120!
From the gun, it's Wentz. Ertz over the middle. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
The Eagles send out their punter now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. So now we look at the Redskins offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away.
Yeah,
Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
And the offensive penalty has us back where we started as they come up on a 1st and 10. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. On 2nd down, Peterson. And now running right through him. And they're going to get this all the way out past the 20.
I know that play went to the left side, and that's what it was designed to do, an outside handoff there. But how about the whole offensive line being involved? Seal the left side where the play was going, what they call play side, but how about on the back side? Just taking care of business to make sure no one can get there and disrupt it.
Is the biggest key the left tackle?
Without a doubt. Control that edge. Get out there. You want that left tackle, or if you bring your tight end over there, either way, control the edge of the line of scrimmage, you got a chance to rumble.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. On 1st and 10, Smith into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Nigel Brown. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's the Eagles behind on the scoreboard, but with the football here as we start the 4th quarter. So after the INT, here's Wentz. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Ryan Kerrigan coming hard that time. He's able to run him down for a loss of 12. Kerrigan, the former Purdue Boilermaker, making some noise there.
And do you realize in the last 5 years that only Chandler Jones of Arizona has more sacks in the NFL than Ryan Kerrigan?
Yeah, you don't think of Kerrigan in that light a lot of times.
No, but you should, because he is tough to block. And not only does he get sacks, he creates a lot of forced fumbles as well.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go.
Here we go.
Shotgun now for Wentz. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off near the 26. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. Scoring has really been at a premium, and Charles, you got to tip your cap to this defense coming in here. Their offense too, but this whole team coming in here on the road, getting a hard-fought win.
I think the way that they're finishing this one up, an exclamation point on a terrific game. As you noted, hard for them to put points on the board, and they hold them down one more time and finalize things.
So out now come the Redskins. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious, because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. After the interception, here's Smith. This one caught by Crowder. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So it's Redskin football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They run the counter now. It's Peterson. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. Now this is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Now Smith. And he's got room. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. And the Eagles are going to go ahead and take another timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Smith going to throw it. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. A wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now second down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. And off comes to Peterson. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. The Redskins on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. They run again with Peterson. And he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down. Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. They're down here in a one-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Yeah, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. He's back to throw. He's going to let it fly. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That one goes for 36 yards. And the spike comes now with just under 40 ticks left. Back to throw. 20. Wide open receiver complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. Give him 30 yards there. Now he'll spike it here with 20 seconds to go on the clock. And this one incomplete. So the clock stopped now with 20 seconds remaining. They'll look to throw. And his ball is caught. It's a touchdown. And now in the final seconds, they're a PAT away from likely getting this thing to overtime.
Obviously, the excitement level here is almost a fever pitch. Down one, is tempted to go for two. I say you go ahead and kick the extra point. You got the home crowd carried into overtime.
I'm with you. I do see some fans, though, holding up 2 fingers. Easy now.
Yeah, but they're not the ones who have to actually make that call, are they?
And now a critical extra point attempt here. And now we're going to get a timeout called by the Redskin defense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. And now a critical extra point attempt here. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And we may very well be headed to overtime. So the drive there, 5 plays, 80 yards. The result, Philadelphia in the end zone. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this 4th quarter. Now here's Johnson. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Smith and the Redskins will come up now 1st and 10. Smith. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. And now with 4 seconds left, we get a timeout call. The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. Smith now to throw. And incomplete on the deep ball. 4 quarters not enough. We're all even, and to overtime we go.
How much fun is this for everyone who's watching the game? How much fun is it for us to see this one get an extra period to get settled?
And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Redskin offense now as they get set to begin another possession. Set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far. Now a play fake here on first down. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. That's a good way to start the drive, 17 yards and a first down. So they come out throwing in the extra session and get a nice hook up right away.
Tells you a lot about what a coach feels about his team, doesn't it? That type of a play in overtime, so many people in this situation play not to lose instead of playing to win. That throw there tells you exactly what they're trying to get done.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. On 2nd down, here's Smith. Throw left side is complete to Reed. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
How about the timing on that one? Boy, they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
Opening drive of overtime, and now facing a 3rd down and 6. Big play coming up. From the gun, here's Smith. He finds his target. It's Crowder. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. Well, good start for him under center here in overtime. Now 3 of 3.
And this is where you have to know who you have playing quarterback. You've got a confident thrower right now, someone who's taking care of the ball, but not being timid as well, and is moving the team downfield. That opens up your playbook and allows you to dial up some big shots if you want it.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. They give it to Peterson. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. They'll be down to just 1 remaining as we step aside here in overtime. So the offensive unit called the TO, and now we are ready to resume play. The rush defense stout on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. They'll fake the handoff. Now Smith. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. In need of a 3rd and 10 conversion to keep this opening drive of OT alive. A shotgun snap for Smith. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. Mike Bennett with a big-time sack on 3rd down. And it'll be a loss of 7. Bennett, of course, a big offseason pickup for the Eagles.
And they love his versatility. He can play defensive end, defensive tackle in obvious pass situations, 9.5 sacks last season in Seattle, and the smallest shoulder pads for a man his size we've ever seen.
And a 3-time Pro Bowler to boot. Here's Tressway now, on for a very important punt here in overtime. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it, but they turned it back over to them, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. An excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
Now, part 1 is done, now part 2. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 right at the 30. Here's a handoff to Sproles to start the drive. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
In overtime, you have to be smarter than that.
A personal foul just can't happen. Have to have poise.
Now now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. First throw of overtime for Wentz. And this is Ertz with it, right side. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. They'll be left with just one remaining here at OT. And welcome back. The offensive unit, they took the timeout. And now they get set to line up as we resume action. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Play action to Sproles. Wentz. He targets Jordan Matthews, and it's caught. And a timeout now here in overtime with 4 seconds remaining. So the offense took the timeout. Looks like they're ready to go as we get set to resume the action. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Sproles. And a short gain down to about the 33. On 2nd down, here's Wentz. Going deep here for Matt. And this will be caught. Touchdown. They needed overtime to get it done, but put this one in the win column. Now, partner, a great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, trying to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
You really just wanted 4 quarters what you wanted, but how much fun was that? We had that type of a game where we got us to overtime, and then we get the dramatic ending to finish things off as well. What a game.
So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaughan. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say 24-hour cheesesteak shop, here we come.
Oh, yeah, and I'm buying, partner. And guess what? I'm having mine with.
And I'm having 2 if you're buying. Good night from Philadelphia.